Right, so my name is Julius Ponik, and today I'm going to take you through an introduction to futures trading. So if we talk about futures trading, what are the things or the key things that one should look at? So that's what we are going to mainly talk about. So first is one needs to know what we term as a margin. That is the first thing. Yes, so I hope you get a pen and a paper when you write these ones down. Then two, one needs to know what we term as the position, or I've forgotten the other term they use for this. Position, or your what? Your size. So one needs to know what we call position or size. Then the third, number 3 would be the leverage. 4, market direction. And then 5, the worst enemy, which is liquidation or liquidation price. Yes, then so what is margin? Our first one, which is margin. Yes, so here even I encourage you to use also apps like this ChatGPT here. You just come and ask it that what is margin in futures, okay, and then it will tell you that in futures, margin is the amount of money a trader must deposit to open and maintain a futures position. Okay, so margin will be that amount of money, or we can call it your capital. Yes, the capital that you want to put into a what? Into a coin. So for further details, okay, you don't need to know much of this. Just know that margin is the amount of money or the capital that you want to put into a coin. Yes. All right. So then we can proceed to position. Since you've seen that in defining margin, they don't skip what? They don't skip position. Then what is position? So position is the exposure or commitment you have in the market after opening a trade. Yes. So what do they mean by that? Your position will be, or the size will be, the amount of money you'll have after the effect of leverage has been put. Okay. Yes. After the effect of leverage has been initiated, and then we shall have something called the what? The size of your contract. Okay, position, remember, is the same as the size almost. Yeah, because those are the in Binance we usually see that word mostly size. So after the leverage has been put into place, you'll have a what? A position. That means that your size or position will include the money the board has the exchange has lended you or added on to your money. For example, I can have a margin of $10 with a leverage of 10x, so which means my margin will be multiplied 10 times to give me a position or a size of 100. Okay, so the profit I'll make it from the 100. Okay, hope we are together there. All right, then now we can bring in our leverage, which is the what? Which is the third one, leverage. So what is leverage? Now leverage is that multiple. Yes, but in simple terms, okay, it is that multiple that will multiply your margin to give you a size or the position, as I showed earlier. So if I have a margin, all the money I'm willing to put into the market of $10, then I have my leverage of 10x, then it will multiply this margin of mine 10 times, giving me a position of $100. What if my leverage was 5x? It will multiply my $10 5 times, giving me a position of, or a size of $50. Okay, and that is how sweet it is. All right, so then as you can see, okay, let us see what definition these ones are giving to us. That leverage means borrowing capital from the exchange to control a larger position than your actual funds. Okay, so you borrow some money, you add on to your so leverage means borrowing capital from the exchange to control your larger position. Okay, so it lets you amplify both profits and losses. So a small market move can bring big gains or big losses. So in simple terms, leverage will be equal to your position value or your size value divided by the margin. Okay, so that you get your actual capital that you are putting into a coin. So suppose someone has $500 of capital, and then you want a leverage of 10x. Yeah, so you can control a position worth $5,000. So if your BTC price increases by 5%, then your profit equal to 5% of $5,000, giving you $250, which is 50% gain of your margin, which is $500. Okay, so but if BTC drops by 5%, yeah, you lose $250, which is 50% of your margin. So low leverages are encouraged like that for lower risk or smaller profit swings. In case you're a new person trying to make your own signals, try to use lower leverage. So higher leverage of 20x to 125x, they are very, very risky. They are very, very risky. Then liquidation risk, because your margin is small, if the market moves slightly against you, your margin can't cover losses. So the exchange automatically closes your position to prevent going negative. That is liquidation, which we are going to discuss. So summary table for the margin. Okay, we are going to come to this summary table after. Then now we talk about liquidation. So what is liquidation? So liquidation happens when your losses reach the level of your margin and the exchange automatically closes your position to prevent your account from going negative. It's basically a forced closure of your trade due to insufficient margin. So liquidation, is when the market totally goes against you. So if the market totally goes against you and then it goes down, to the extent, okay, if it over goes down, then you lose your position, same as your margin. So you just see your money disappearing. So whenever you set a trade, always in Royal Q, liquidation price is set. As an example, when a liquidation happens, you might think over it's only new people that are liquidated, but everyone is liquidated, my friend. If liquidation happens, Binance will immediately send for you this this email. We regret to inform you that your position on this coin has been liquidated, or has triggered into liquidation. So please, slowly. The market is not your friend. The market doesn't know an expert. Anytime, anywhere, liquidation can sweep you and your account remains on zero. So as you are trading, as you are doing futures, no. Even though we make a lot of profit, a lot of losses also can be incurred. Okay? You are after $10, but you are putting at risk all your money in your account. So it is advisable that always use at least, if at all you have like $100 of capital you want to use for trading futures, use $20 first. Yes, $20 at a go, not all the $100 being put into a coin at once. No, the more you expose, the higher the exposure, the higher the tiers in the end. All right, hope that one has gone home. Liquidation is our number one enemy. All right, now let us come to the summary. So liquidation is the first closure of your position when losses when losses equals margin. Okay, then liquidation price, the market price at which liquidation occurs. Margin call, a warning before liquidation, add more funds or close. Yeah, so that warning, an example also of the warning can be here. Whenever your position reaches 80%, Binance sends you this one, that last call, Binance Futures Market Arena. Sorry, it's not the one. Let me see. Now before it is liquidated, they'll send you something like this. The margin of your has reached 80%. Please transfer assets. But if it has told us it has reached this, now you surrender. But also we can prevent all these losses by setting a stop loss. Though if the coin drops to a stop loss, then yeah, it will just exit and then you'll make some minimal loss, which you have a calculated loss. Remember also, not just going in blue is better. So you can decide to make a calculated loss. So if we continue, liquidation price, that price at which you're going to be liquidated. And always as you enter a trade, Royal Q always sets for you this liquidation price. So after setting a trade, go under that page there which contains trade setting and the word activate down there. So on that page, they will show you, this page is on meaning. So on this page here, there will be something added around here that liquidation price, but it is only set after you've entered a what? A coin. And always it is always far, depending. So if you have, okay, we're going to talk about market direction next. Then use stop loss, add margin or reduce the leverage. But remember, if you have entered the coin also, you can never change the leverage. You can never change the leverage as you've entered the what? A coin. So below is an example of what some of the messages, okay, you can see plus others when you try to change the leverage when a coin is already in trade. So they tell you change the leverage ratio, failed. All right. So maybe as a mop-up, margin the capital you are using, you are willing to put into market. Then the leverage is the multiplier that increases your buying stock selling power. Then your position, total trade value. Yes, and the position is always equal to margin times the what? The leverage. Then liquidation first closing, whereby if it reaches liquidation price, you will be liquidated. Then something more on leverage. Now, the leverage there has 3 effects. Yes, the leverage has 3 effects, and I wanted us to discuss them here intensely. Leverage, remember there is this thing of position, first buying amount. We have 3 things also here as we are setting. We have your first buying amount, then you have your margin call limit. I think those are the 2. First buying amount, margin call limit, and then maybe your capital. So remember, it is you to decide how much capital you want to put into a coin. Now, like you want to put $10 into this coin. So remember, this first buying amount here, for the sake of futures, is always stated in terms of the coin you are trading. For example, this coin is upper, so they are showing us that 235 upper. They are showing us that these 235 upper are equivalent to $5. Okay, so whatever value you want to start with, change accordingly, and then you see that you get what you need. Okay, change it, you get what you need, and then you proceed. So in case now I want to start with $10, what will I do? Of course, I'll just come here and keep on changing. Maybe let me put 500. Are you seeing? Now 500 is giving me $10. So 500 upper is equivalent to $10. Okay. Then there I know I have my 500. Now I have my $10. Okay, sorry about that. Now let us bring in leverage. What if I want to use the leverage of 10x? What will happen? So if I have set here $10, this leverage comes and divides this $10 by 10. As I told you there that now this is the first effect. It reduces how much money I am putting into the coin, but multiplies the take profit. The profit is multiplied, reduces how much money I'm putting on each margin call, of which for me I can even define here again up when I see that I get the amount of money I want. I keep on changing it, of course, accordingly. Okay. Now it divides this, which means in actual sense only $1 will be entering here. So how do I calculate my margin call limit? Of course, I get this 10 divided by 10. Then I get my $10 divided by 1, which I got from dividing these two. So my margin call limit will be 10. And it's what I'll write down here. That what? That's 10. Now what if my leverage was 5x? What will happen? Of course, I'll come here and divide this 10 divided by 5, giving us 2. So 2, then what is my capital? My capital is $10. 10, so divided by this 2 now, giving me 5. So 5 will be my first by my margin call limit. Whenever that message appears, just click understand money leverage which. All right. Now the other one. Now what if I have a leverage of 10 and I want to start with my $0.5 per margin call? So here I'll make sure this one, whenever it appears, just click understand. So I'll make sure I have $5 here. So if I have 5, so I multiply this, I divide this to get 0.5. So I'll get 10 divided by 0.5. But remember, even though this 0.5 is entering in the market, it will appear as if I've entered with $5. Okay? It will be like I've entered with 0.5, but in the market it will appear like I've entered with $5. So if you enter with $5 exactly, if you calculate well and get your $5 and they're the ones you want to enter with, there you'll have $50 with the leverage of 10. Now 10 divided by 0.5 giving me 20. 20 minus 1 giving me 19. So this 19 now becomes my margin call. My margin call limit. I write it here. Alright, so that is the first effect of leverage. Reduces the money I'm putting into the coin, but multiplies it. And then second effect will be here on our margin call drop. So let me first set a strategy here. First put in something similar to what everyone has so that we don't get confused. So in case I have 0.1% for my first call, leverage multiplies this by 10. So which means the coin will buy when it decreases by 1%. That's when the first call will be called. Here the same thing. In case my leverage is 10x, this will be multiplied by 10. So if it drops by what? 2%, that's when they will buy. By 3%, leverage multiplies this, but leverage divides our this here. There will be division here, there will be multiplication the other side. Yes, maybe the other thing is that it will multiply your capital. Okay, now let's go to the last bit of this, which is market direction. So market direction in futures involves two things. what is market direction? Market direction means the overall movement of the market or assets price over a given period. So it is the general movement of the market over a given period of what? Of trend of a market over a given period of a time. So okay, there are two times. It can either be bullish or bearish. So prices are rising under a bullish up market trend or an uptrend, and buyers are stronger than sellers. Traders look for a long. So this is the major thing here we want. You can, so if it is bullish, you long the market or you buy. Okay, an example, when Bitcoin increases from 58k to 68k like that, then the other one, the other market direction we have is a bullish or downward trend. So here prices are falling overall, and then we either short the market or sell. So in Royal Q, where do we see those ones from? When we come here, okay. So as you are setting the coin, of course. So in the next video, I'll be showing you how to set a coin. So you specify either a long or a short. Okay. Are you longing or shorting? Longing is when you are profiting in a bullish market. That is an uptrend, when the market is moving up. So you want to make profit when the market is moving up. Short, downtrend. Bullish, you want to profit when the market is going down. Okay. So how do you know the market is bearish or bullish? By checking the candles. If everything is red, more so whenever you wake up as a futures trader, you know, a futures trader is an active trader. You're not going to leave to set a trade and just leave the phone there. You'll find when they have liquidated you, my friend. Set a trade, always be checking on the phone if at all you decided to commit to what? To futures. Yes, so as an active trader, whenever you wake up or anytime, check how is Bitcoin moving. What are the news? What is going on? How is Bitcoin moving? That is the major thing. How is Bitcoin moving? Remember, it is the major guy or the major controller or the one that determines the market trend mainly. So whenever you wake up, how is Bitcoin moving? And then these other major coins. How is Ethereum? How is BNB? Yeah, you know those major coins. So use your coin market cap where you organize those coins as well. So we are gonna be discussing also this. Yes, but at the moment, first download. So as you can see, I organized my coins. Let's first go to the top coins, filter according to what? All networks, all categories, exchanges, percentage change, volume 24 hour. Okay. Top rank, top 100 coins. BCH. This is according to price. I don't know why I said. Alright, thank you so much. You shall be looking at this. I'm going to put them according to according to market cap. Alright, thank you so much.